What if I told you that the fastest way to achieve a glow has nothing to do with the products that you use? Well, today we are going to tap into the real secret to the real glow serum: gratitude. Hello Explorer, it is me, Itu the Dynamite Coach, and today we are on day 2 of our 21-day Glow from Within challenge. Today's challenge is all about gratitude. We all know this. I'm the girl for gratitude because gratitude, it is what moves us from where we are and where we want to be. Gratitude, it is the pathway to living a much better life, because sometimes it really isn't about what it is that we don't have, but focusing on what God has already blessed us with. But today we're going to do gratitude in a very different way. We're going to look at those parts that we never touch on and try to be grateful for. So follow along. I want us to be grateful for 5 things. For this challenge, you are going to need your journal, because all you're going to be doing is journaling. Remember, the more you take out the garbage from your subconscious mind, the more chance you have in glowing. So for today's challenge, you're going to grab your journal. The orders are coming quickly, so thank you guys. You guys are ready to do this challenge. But you're going to grab the journal and write 5 things that you're grateful for. Not anything. You're specifically going to work through these 5 things. Number 1, you're going to be grateful for your ability to try again even though you have failed previously. What are you going to do? You're going to take your journal and write about the failure that is still haunting you even today. Maybe you made a bad decision in terms of what financial investment you're going to do and you got scammed. Or maybe you chose the wrong partner. Or maybe you tried a business and it didn't work out. Or whatever it is that you did, that today when you think about it, it still feels like such a huge failure. I want you to go and write about that. Go into the details. Visit the pain that occurred because of that failure. Once you have written it and you've explored everything you can possibly say about that pain or about that failure, then you're going to say, I am grateful for my strength to try again even after this failure. I now let go of this failure. Then you let it go. Once you're done with that, see how you feel. If you have the strength to move on to the next one, move on to the next one. Number 2, you're going to be grateful for all the people that did not show up for you. A lot of times in life, we want people to show up for us all the time. It could be maybe you needed some money, or it could be that you needed some advice, and there's those people that you feel like you trust, or you needed support, whatever you might have needed, right? And these people did not show up for you the way that you might have expected them to. So you're going to be grateful for the fact that they didn't show up. How? You're going to write out this situation. Maybe I was going through a loss of a partner and I felt like my friend so-and-so was supposed to be there for me and they didn't show up the way that I needed them for. This has helped me to tap into my ability to work through things myself, or maybe it's money that you wanted. This has helped me trust God, and because God showed up in a different way. What did this lesson teach you, right? What did you showing up for yourself teach you? What did the absence of these people teach you? At the end of that story, you're going to write there at the bottom that I am grateful for the people, or if you can specify the person, I am grateful for so-and-so not showing up for me when I needed them for this situation, because it has helped me either depend on myself more or depend on God more, or whatever the lesson is, you write it down. Did you guys get me there? It is straightforward. Who didn't show up? What happened? You were grateful because you are now this person. Clear? Good. Number 3. Sometimes life puts you in a situation where you need to be your own best friend. So, for number 3, you're going to be grateful for the growth that no one saw. At times, maybe you were going through something and you didn't tell anyone about it. So the difference between number 2 and number 3 is that number 2, you did ask the person for what you needed. But with number 3, you didn't tell anybody because you felt like you needed to go through this thing alone. You needed to build this characteristic alone. Right? So you're going to talk about that story, what happened, what is this thing that you went through all by yourself and no one ever knew about it. So you need to clap for yourself for being able to go through something alone and get whatever skill or whatever characteristics or whatever strength that you got because of the situation. And then at the end of that gratitude story, you're going to write, I am grateful for the strength I built when I was on my own and no one was there to applaud me. Because these secret times that we have by ourselves, sometimes we take them for granted, but they are the ones that help you build the character of who you are trying to become. Number 4, you are going to be grateful for your inner voice. A lot of times we want to trust other people with our lives and we neglect our own inner voice. God gave us an internal compass for us to know how to maneuver this world. But sometimes we outsource that ability. We trust people with our own lives more than we trust ourselves. Everybody has the ability to make the right decisions. Everybody has the ability to tap into their inner voice and find out what is it that they need to do with their lives. So today, I want you to acknowledge that one time where you listened to your inner voice and it led you to the good places. Whether you avoided being in trouble or it led you towards better things, I want you to acknowledge that time. A lot of people will come and say, oh, I felt like going out, but suddenly I decided to stay in only to find that there was going to be an accident. Or this and this happened only to find that it has saved me from this. Or I went to a store and then I met my husband, So your inner voice is that navigator that can help you towards the destiny that God has set for you, or it can pull you away from places that you're not supposed to be. So, with this challenge now, you're going to write that story, that one story, acknowledging yourself from being able to listen to your inner voice. Write the story out, and then at the end of that story, you will write, I am grateful for the inner voice that I am learning to trust. Last but not least, number 5. We are in a journey to self-discovery. There are still parts of you that you have no idea that they exist. So, I want you to start acknowledging those parts. A lot of times people call themselves broken. I don't know where you guys heard that, by the way. Who told you that you are broken? Anyways, so in this challenge, you're going to acknowledge all the pieces of you that have not yet healed. All the parts of you that you are not happy about, you are going to be grateful for them, right? As an example, you are struggling with self-confidence. You will write what the lack of self-confidence is doing to you every day, for example. And then after you've written that story, maybe not having self-confidence is stopping you from raising your hand when you're in the boardroom, or it's stopping you from posting your product, or it's stopping you from being great, whatever it is that is stopping you from. So you're going to write that out. At the end, you're going to write, I am grateful for all the unfinished parts of the journey. But you're only going to choose one thing to work with. One. Don't be working with everything at the same time. If it's self-confidence, you're going to choose that. If it's consistency, you're going to choose that. If, just choose one characteristic. And then write about what you not having that characteristics is doing to your life. Or how is you not having that thing affecting your life. So if it's consistency, how does the lack of consistency affect your life? And then at the end, instead of bashing yourself, Instead of telling the world about how horrible you are about everything or how inconsistent you are, no. You're going to acknowledge it and say, I recognize this is a part of me that still needs healing. I recognize that this is a part of me that still needs working on. And I am grateful that I still have these unfinished parts of my journey and I'm currently working on healing them. Or I'm currently working on them. Do you see how gratitude can be the greatest thing that you can do with your life? Can you see that bashing yourself is not going to help you with any way? It is time in this journey, I want you to make a cognitive decision that you will not bash yourself. At no point are you going to call yourself stupid. At no point are you going to call yourself lazy. At no point are you going to call yourself any word that is not supportive of the person that you are trying to become. So you're going to be very careful of the vocabulary that you are using during this challenge, especially towards yourself. So yes, that is the one part of our challenge for today, and that was gratitude. The second part of this challenge is I want you to smile at least 5 people today. And don't do that smile that we see in the lift. No. Consciously smile at someone. And this someone has to be a stranger. Someone that you've never seen. And you must feel them. Feel your smile. Smile at them and tell me how that made you feel. Comment on the video below and tell me how you smiling at a stranger made you feel at the end of the day. When you are done with that, you're going to come to your tracker and then write under day 2, you have done both exercises, the gratitude exercise as well as smiling to a stranger. You're then going to write E, right? Then you have drank water. Remember, you need to drink 2 liters of water. Some people need 3, but I said for this challenge, we're going to stick to 2. Then you're going to write W because you did drink your water. Then the most important thing, prayer. Prayer is how you're going to end each and every day of this challenge. You're then going to talk to God, say whatever you need to say. If you want to tell him about the gratitude things that you wrote about, tell him how great you felt about smiling to a stranger. Tell him anything that you need to tell him. But you are going to pray every single day. After prayer, you take your tracker and then write P. That will be the end of our day 2. I will see you again on day 3. Remember to subscribe and comment. Tell me how is this thing going? How are you feeling after each day? And make sure that you share this with other people that it might work for. See you on day 3.